my name is Christina Short. I have a bachelor's degree in education from Franklin University. I do not have any experience in counseling. All of my experience has been getting my degree and working in education. I'm focused on school counseling. I really want to focus on working with adolescents, and it all sparked when I was working on my bachelor's degree, and I just realized that I wanted more. I wanted more one-on-one. I really found an interest in social emotional awareness and well-being, and that's kind of why I decided to take a turn for counseling. As I mentioned, I don't have any background, so my goals for this class are really just to gain as much knowledge as I can. I kind of feel like a fish out of water. I feel like a lot of people have psychology degrees and backgrounds or are working in the field, so I'm just really hungry for whatever I can learn to get started and try to catch up. As far as my self-care, I feel like I have pretty decent self-care, especially going through that little checklist, some things that I feel I've gotten good at or am better at eating healthy. I've been on a health journey for a couple of years now, trying to just lose weight and have overall healthier habits. So that's something that I feel like I'm decent at. I try to be. Sleeping is something that is important to me. I prioritize it. I have learned that I need 8 hours at least. I have good emotional self-care. I express my emotions fairly well. I'm able to acknowledge them. I've always been a hyper emotional person. So that's also kind of, as I said, what has drawn me to this is to also help younger children to navigate that, to put names to it, to figure out what's going on. When you have a lot of big emotions, it's hard. I feel like I'm also really good at discussing and navigating problems I have, whatever way that may come across. I have good social self-care. I'm very social. I have a lot of friends. I'm very outgoing. I love going out and doing things, meeting new people, talking to people. So I pretty much was across the board good with that. My spiritual care is something that is important to me. I love to be out in nature. I love art, listening to music, physical art, even comedy shows. It's important for me to attain a balance in my life. So that's something that I'm good at, but I'm always striving to do better. When I was going for my bachelor's, I was so overwhelmed and I just felt like I couldn't balance romantic, friends, school, work. Like it was just so much. So I really had to kind of learn how to better do that. But of course, it's always a struggle when you have a lot going on, as I do and as we all do. These things all contribute to my overall wellness. Like I said, eating healthy and sleeping, that's just a base level for me, just to feel best, to feel my best. As far as emotional self-care, I need to talk about things. I have learned this, that, as I said, I have a lot of emotions, hyper emotional, I've always called it. Just big emotions. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I learned I cannot hold those things in. So that helps clear it out of my head, clear it out of my body. That's kind of how that helps. Social, just getting out playing, talking to friends, getting my mind off other things, being present in something that is not, school, work. And as far as spiritual care, being in nature is a huge one for me. It is such a present feeling for me to be in nature, to hike or whatever it is, to sit in nature, meditate. I feel like I can just be completely present and my brain shuts off. So that it gives me space and time to just be, so that I do have the capacity to handle everything else. Some things that I do want to improve on, as I said, I love to be in nature and I want more of it. I feel like I don't make enough time for it, and that's important to me because it kind of helps with all of the other things that I'm trying to work on. I would like to get more exercise. Being in nature, hiking is something that's important to me, so that's a way that I can incorporate getting more exercise. I would like more time for reflection, journaling, practicing gratitude. I feel like also that kind of comes back to nature, where I can just sit and I can meditate and I can focus on those things and be present. Getting away from distractions is something I would like to improve on. I'd like less time on my phone, of course, less time wasters, brain wasters as I call them, because it's like, you know, my brain kind of shuts off as soon as I pull open Instagram or whatever it is, and I could be spending my time so much better. So that's something I would improve on. I would like to find new hobbies, participate in more causes, and of course just increase my balance of everything going on. And my plan to overcome these is I feel like I can combine a lot of them. Like I said, I can practice gratitude, get away from distractions, have time for reflection, get exercise, and spend more time in nature all in one. I could also incorporate some of my strengths, like my social group, into those things. Finding new hobbies, participating in causes, I can include that. I could focus on emotional wellness, mental health, things like that I already am good at and interested in. I can incorporate that. And I feel like also creating a schedule is something that has worked for me in the past and would work better. And I need to schedule in. I'm good at scheduling in my schoolwork with my work, but I could schedule in these positive things too and things I want to work in. As far as my support system, as I mentioned, I have a spouse, my family, my friends, everybody's really great. Something that I really appreciate about them is they give me the time and space to what I need. So if they understand if I can't do something, or I don't feel like I have the capacity to show up for bowling with all of the girls Saturday or whatever it is, they never make me feel bad about it. My fiance is always, you know, willing to help out with dinner or cleaning or whatever it is, so I don't have to worry about that. He takes things off my plate. And they're also just very supportive, and they listen, you know, lend a helping ear or hand or whatever it is. Those are ways that they help maintain my self-care, is just any way that I need, really. And in reflection, balance is really important to me. Practicing mindfulness, getting the most out of life and experiences, that's what's super important to me. So